Right now, the Brooklyn Nets look like a basketball team that is destined for a championship and destined for stardom. The Brooklyn Nets, they look great. They look like the best team in the league almost. And, of course, they're the best team in the East. I think they're going to reach the Eastern Conference Finals and have a chance to get to the championship. However, before we get all into the details, welcome on the mic. This is your host, Micah Cannon. Make sure to like and subscribe. All that's going to be up here on the screen right in front of you. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, the Brooklyn Nets look absolutely great with James Harden, and even though they gave up 8 first-round picks, it's looking to be well worth it 2 games in. I know it's really early, and I don't want to hype them up too much. However, you cannot ignore the statistics, and you cannot ignore the fact that the Nets have been, bottom line, the best team, at least offensively, in the NBA ever since the addition of James Harden. James Harden, since coming to the Nets, is averaging 33 points a game, 9 rebounds a game, and 13 assists per game. Let's just say that 13 assists is a league-leading assist, and 9 rebounds a game is one of the best rebounding numbers for guards in the league as of right now. Of course, these are his stats since joining the Nets. This is 2 games. The Brooklyn Nets, they look destined for stardom, and it really looks like James Harden has finally got out of his sort of selfish ways that he was in Houston. In Houston, he wasn't with the team. He clearly didn't want to be there, and he basically forced his way out. And as a result, it resulted in Houston trading all those picks and ultimately for James Harden to go all the way to Brooklyn, and he looks really good. He fits well in the system. We've seen him on the sideline cheering on KD and the bench. It looks like James Harden has finally accelerated from great player on a very good team that couldn't really be a leader, that couldn't really show up, to that guy who's stepping up a little bit, and he's mainly focused. It seems like he's mainly focused on making the team better, and I really love to see that from James Harden. I love to see him happy in a Nets uniform, and I want to see how far he can go. Now, talking about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is looking like the second best player in the league. He's looking like at least a top 3 player in the league, wherever you put him. Kevin Durant is averaging 30 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, and 6 assists per game. This man, Kevin Durant, it's like the season-ending Achilles tear has never happened. It's like he just straight forwarded into the future, and he's the same old Kevin Durant that we've seen. He's playing at an MVP caliber level. He looks like one of the best players in the NBA, and I'm really surprised because usually players don't come back, let's just say, averaging 30 points a game and being the exact same they were before from a season-ending Achilles tear that has devastated the careers of many past NBA players. Kevin Durant, I'm really happy for him because that injury did look really bad. He came into the year and I was really hesitant, like, is he going to be the same guy? Will he have to change his game? But it looks like Kevin Durant is the exact same dude, at least from my point of view. If you're a Nets fan, let me know, but Kevin Durant, he's the same guy, and honestly, he looks better than he has, within any season of his career. And a little side note I want to add, last time Kevin Durant had a team this good, I'm talking about a team with probably a top 5 shooting guard in the league, and Klay Thompson, and back then when they had Stephen Curry, back then that team made the finals, and he ended up winning 2 in a row. So this team, I'm going to say they're better because they have the 5th best bench in the league in terms of total production, and James Harden is, of course, better than Klay Thompson. However, all these guys are ball handlers, so we don't know how that's going to quite play out yet. I just want to say that KD is on a better team than he was on with the Golden State Warriors, so watch out. Now we need to talk about the Kyrie Irving situation. Yes, this guy. The guy who's been sitting out the past couple of games, seemingly trying to make a point. Kyrie Irving, 27 points a game, 5 rebounds per game, and 6 assists per game. If Kyrie Irving comes in and takes a leadership role and does not force his way out just like he did with Boston and just like he did with Cleveland, I really think this could be a very beneficial big 3. I really think this could revamp the city of Brooklyn and New York back to a basketball mecca sort of place, and that's really good for New York fans. Good for you guys. You guys deserve a winning team because, man, the past couple years have been tough. But besides that, Kyrie Irving has been one of the best point guards in the league this year, arguably a top 3 point guard. 27 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. If he takes a leadership role and doesn't force his way out, then this could be good. But we have to consider the fact that Kyrie Irving has done this twice. And to be honest, teams without him usually end off better with him. Just look at the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics lost him, and they've gone to, three Eastern Conference Finals games since then, or a final series, and then you had Cleveland. Of course, they didn't get better because they lost LeBron James within a couple years, but at the end of the day, Cleveland still made the finals with, let's just say, limited drama from their point guard position. Kyrie Irving, look, he needs to take a leadership role, okay? He might have to give up the ball a little bit. I know they're going to try and balance it out a little. However, for this to truly work, I think you have to get everyone in their comfort zone, and I really think you have to play James Harden at point guard, because Kyrie Irving, dude's not going to pass the ball. Like, come on. And Kyrie Irving is the guy that gets in his bag and straight just goes for it. He shoots every shot, and when he's hot, he'll make them. When he's not hot, he's going to miss them. However, I think this could be a beneficial big three, and eventually, I think Kyrie's going to come to his senses and be like, hey, if I want to win another ring, and I want to prove to the people that I can win without LeBron, I'm going to have to become a better team player. And Kyrie, if you do that, you're going to end up really good. If you don't, then you're going to end up on another team in another situation, and probably the same way you ended up with all these other teams, the Cavs, this team evidently, and of course, the Celtics back then. Now, not the Boston Celtics, excuse me, the Brooklyn Nets, they are among one of the best teams in the the NBA. The Brooklyn Nets, you look at the big three and you think that's all they have, and really, I fell for that as well. I fell for that at the beginning. I'm like, this team only has a big three. How are they going to compete? Well, let's just say this. If all three of them score 30 points, as they're all averaging right around 30 points a game, that's already 90 points. Just think about that. 90 points already from just three players. We're not talking about Joe Harris. We're not talking about Landry Shamet. We're talking about these three players, 90 points, all right? And then we have to combine that with the fact that their bench is the fifth most productive bench in the league this season. So the no bench excuse, that's kind of irrelevant now, because I know they gave up their bench. They gave up a little bit, so we're going to have to see how that turns out. However, through the 2020 through 21 season, this team has the best bench in the league, or the fifth best bench in the league, excuse me. And the Nets, we're talking about 120 points a game. If those three guys, KD, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden, all put up 30 points. Let's say they all put up 30 points. That's already 90 points. Low chance of that happening, but that's already 90 points. They can all score. They can all light it up. The bench only has to score about, They only have to score about 20 points to get to 110. And then if you get 30 points from the rest of your players, which is highly likely considering that you're in the NBA, that's already about 120 points. So that just goes to show you how explosive this Nets offense can really be. However, this Nets team, going in closing, I think they're going to reach the Eastern Conference Finals. I think they have a chance at winning. However, the Bucks did give them a run for their money. I think that the Brooklyn Nets are one of the best teams in the NBA. I want them to figure it out. I want Kyrie Irving to really fit in a system now. I want him to be willing to be a team player now. It seems like he's getting his act together. However, we'll see. We're only a couple of games in. It's not too far. KD looks like an MVP. James Harden looks like he's back in his form. And, of course, we are still waiting to see what Kyrie Irving is going to look like, pending, I believe, tomorrow's game against the Cavaliers. Once again, fact check that. But I believe that's who they go against. Thank you for watching. Of course, like and subscribe. All of that was up here at the beginning of the video, and we're gonna get another video a couple days from now. However, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'd also appreciate that too, or just watch the video. However, I love you guys, and I will catch you guys next video.